Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, to meet again with me, Uswatun Hasanah, student of Agribusiness Study Program, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Trunojoyo, Madura, with student ID number 36. I made this video to meet the final examination of Business Law and Ethics, which was taught by the lecturer Mrs. Novi Badrut Tamami. And in this video, I will discuss the bankruptcy law and case study of the bankrupt company, namely PT Nyonya Menir. Come on and listen to the end. And the first, we will discuss about bankruptcy. What is bankruptcy? In Article 2, Paragraph 1 of Law Number 37 of year 2004, which define bankruptcy as a debtor who has two or more creditors and doesn't pay in full at least one debt that is due and can be collected, declared bankrupt by a court decision either on his own request or at the request of one or more creditors. Bankruptcy is a general confiscation of all assets of a bankrupt debtor, the management and settlement of which is carried out by the curator under the supervision of the supervisory judge. Next, bankruptcy law principle. There are four principles of bankruptcy law, namely, declaration of bankruptcy must be concluded within an extended period of time. The management of the bankrupt company must be responsible for managing the company unless they can prove otherwise that they are innocent. It is possible that the debtor's debt will be restructured before being filed for bankruptcy and criminalization of debtor fraud. And the next is purpose of the Bankruptcy Act. The following are the objectives for the establishment of the bankruptcy law, namely, provide a collective forum to select the right of various collectors against debtor assets that are insufficient to pay debt, guarantee equal and balanced distribution of debtors' assets in accordance with the principle of pari passu, prevent debtors from perpetuating actions that are detrimental to creditors, protecting concerned creditors to obtain their right, provide opportunities for debtors and creditors to restructure debtors' debt, and providing protection to debtors who are in good faith by way of debt relief. And now, the function of the Bankruptcy Act. There are several functions of this bankruptcy law, namely, set the priority level and order to each creditor account, regulate procedures so that a debtor can be declared bankrupt, regulating how to determine the truth of creditors' receivables, regulating the validity of creditors' receivables or claims, set the matching or verification procedure of creditors' claims, regulate how to define the process from the sale of debtors' assets according to the priority and order of each creditor, and last, arrange for the reconciliation procedure pursued by the debtor and the creditors and after the bankruptcy declaration. And then, requirement to be declared bankrupt. There are two conditions for a company to be declared bankrupt, namely, the first, there is a stage of stopping paying, that is, when a debtor is unable or unwilling to pay his debt, and the second, there must be more than one creditor, and one of them, the receivable, are collectible. And next is a case study on bankruptcy law. The case study that I will discuss is the analysis of the decision to cancel the homologation peace agreement in the PT Nyonya Menir bankruptcy case. Case study Semarang Commercial Court Decision number 11, short from the Adigama Law Journal. PT Nyonya Menir is a company that produces traditional Javanese herbal medicine pioneered by Nyonya Menir. She used her expertise to treat various diseases in concocting traditional Javanese herb. This product is then sold and marketed. Its market has penetrated into international markets and its markets to 3 continents, namely Asia, Europe, and America, and to 12 countries including Malaysia, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, and China. PT Nyonya Menir Factory has stood on an area 9,980 meters and has been equipped with a laboratory since 1977. The office itself is located on Raden Patah Street, Semarang. On January 18, 1984, the Nyonya Menir Herbal Medicine Museum was established in Semarang and became the first herbal medicine museum in Indonesia. This museum was established with the aim of becoming a cultural heritage for the preservation of ancestral heritage and as a means of education and recreation for the younger generation. The museum is divided into 2 parts, where the first part is an exhibition of Nyonya Menir's private collection, and the second part exhibits the production of traditional herbal medicine. In its press release, CIMB Niaga Bank, which conducts Distributor Financing Corporation with Nyonya Menir, note that the domestic market was controlled by Nyonya Menir product with the support of 2,000 agents took 28,665 outlets spread across 19 provinces. Meanwhile, export continued to be carried out for destination countries such as Malaysia, Singapore, the Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, Australia, Taiwan, and the United States, with export reaching 31 billion rupiahs in 2007. Nyonya Menir also planned herbal medicine as a method of treatment in health institution by establishing a hospital that specifically use herbal medicine and pharmaceutical drugs side by side. Most of PT Nyonya Menir products are products for the benefit of women 80%. They are 254 brands covering 120 kinds of product in the form of pill, capsules, powders, and liquid, and are defined into 3 types for body care, beauty, and healing. These products include kurkuma health drink, minyak telon simungil, singkir angin, carang burung, awet ayu, jamu habis bersalin, basti cream, amurat, and Menir, which have been clinically tested. In 2020, PT Bumi Empon Mustiko, a company formed from a joint venture between the descendant of Nyonya Menir and the HEB Group, has acquired a number of Nyonya Menir trademarks. On August 4, 2017, this company officially ended its operation in line with the Semarang District Court decision, which states that PT Nyonya Menir went bankrupt due to not being able to pay a debt of 252 billion rupiahs. Some of its assets, including Taman Jamu Indonesia in Semarang Regency, have been taken over by Sido Muncul. This case began on 27 January 2015, where the commercial court was extinguished. The Semarang District Court granted the request for postponement of debt payment obligation submitted by PT Citra Sastra Grafika and PT Nata Meridian Investara to PT Nyonya Menir. Then in the temporary PKPU process, the panel of judges at the commercial court issues a decision number 1, March 11, 2015 concerning an extension of the postponement period of debt payment obligation, namely for 90 days. On June 20, 2017, one of the creditors of PT Nyonya Menir, Hendrianto Bambang Santoso, submit a letter requesting the cancellation of the homologation peace agreement. Hendrianto agreed that in the homologation peace agreement decision, PT Nyonya Menir had an obligation to pay in installment or payment for 5 years starting from the end of July 2015 to the end of June 2020. And he agreed that PT Nyonya Menir didn't make installment according to the agreement stipulated in the peace proposal, namely 7,040,970,500 rupiah. Until June 8, 2015, the commercial court at the Semarang District Court decided that the homologation peace agreement was cancelled and PT Nyonya Menir went bankrupt with all the legal consequences. On this decision, PT Nyonya Menir filed an appeal to the Supreme Court, to be precise on August 10, 2017, but the request was rejected. This is all I can say, and I apologize for the error, and I hope it is useful. And see you next time. Thank you. Wassalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.